Welcome to BizJet TV. My name is Fabrizio Poli, and yes, I've got my Global Express hat on today because today's episode is about the Global Express. We're going to be comparing the Global Express, the older version, all the way through the Global 6000 and the Global 6500. These are long-haul aircraft that fly over 6,000 miles. So interesting, large cabin. Is it a good idea to buy a pre-owned one for less than 10 million, or should we buy a new one for 54 million? This is what we're going to be talking about, the advantages, disadvantages, and that. This is what this episode is about. If it's the first time on BizJet TV, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel all about private aviation and smash that like button. That helps get the word out there that BizJet TV is here, all about educating you on private jets and how the private jet is a great business tool. So let's get straight into today's episode, all about the Global Express. Off we go. So we're looking at buying a new Global Express versus buying a pre-owned Global Express. Now, as you know, let me just tell you a little bit of history on the Global Express market. The Global Express is the first large jet that Bombardier developed. You can buy them on the pre-owned market, 1999, that's when they first came out. And then, that's the Global Express. Then they developed the Global 6000. And now just recently the Global 6500. Now I'm sticking to this, I'm not talking about the Global 7500 because that's a different aeroplane. But this aeroplane is basically the same aeroplane. If your pilots are qualified on the Global Express with just 2 to 3 day training, or even up to 5 day training course, they can transit from the Global Express to the Global 6000 and the Global 6500. Essentially what's happened is they've upgraded the engines, the cabin, slightly changed. Actually, the cabin is a little bit smaller in the Global 6000 and 6500 compared to the Global Express. New engines, new avionics, and they've made improvements to the wing as well on the Global 6500. In fact, the Global 6500 flies at 600 knots compared to 500 knots, which you have in the Global Express, so it's 20% faster. As a result of that, it does burn a little bit more fuel compared to the older version. But it gets you there a lot quicker. Now, costs and overall, the operating costs of these airplane, of course, when you've got a new airplane, you get the maintenance thrown in the warranty for 5 years, so you're not paying for that. You also get pilot training thrown in for 5 years, so you're not paying for that. So all this overall will bring your overall running costs of the aircraft down. And of course you've got the benefit of having a brand new aeroplane. But the brand new aeroplane is $56 million. While today, if you want a Global Express on the pre-owned market, you can buy them even as low as $6.9 million. And I've heard people buy them for lower than that as well. You have to be very careful when you're going for an aircraft that's 19, 20 years old. Make sure that it's got the various upgrades in there to comply with ADS-B. The maintenance records are very important that you go through those, that there's no damage history and no other surprises. I'd certainly recommend doing a borescopic check on the engines. This can help you prevent any corrosion, or may pick up some corrosion in the engines that could cause a problem down the line. So these are the sort of things to do. But $7 million compared to $56 million, that's 12.5% the value of a new one. So if you as a business or as an individual, you're saying, well, I want to buy a long haul jet for less than $10 million. Well, this is certainly a good buy. Just make sure when you're honing in that you're using professionals to assess the market for you, and make sure that you're finding an airplane that's going to work and that's not going to break down every 5 minutes. You may have to spend a couple of $1 million on the airplane just to upgrade it. Whether you want to upgrade the interior, the avionics, the engines, or whatever you may want to do, that's certainly something to look into when you're buying such an older airplane. I mean, there are good buys out there, and a 20-year-old airplane does do a good job, just like a new one. It really is down to your preference. And then in the middle, we've got the Global 6000, and today the Global 6000s, you can buy them for $24 million, 2,200 hours on them, good airplanes. It's got obviously the modern Vision flight deck, which a lot of people like, and the interior is newer, so that's kind of the advantage on that. So you may want to look into a Global 6000 instead of an older Global Express. But when you're buying these airplanes which are out of warranty, you are then get them on an engine program, a maintenance program, which means that you're paying so much every month towards the maintenance, and if something goes wrong, the maintenance program will take care of that. And it's almost like an insurance for your maintenance. It's always good to have your airplanes on these type of programs. Some people, when they're going and they're buying the older versions, like older Global Express, they decide not to have any program whatsoever, and then if the airplane breaks, they just fix it. They pay to fix it. It really depends on what and how you want to manage your aircraft. But certainly, the Global Express is a great airplane. It's got a large cabin. Passengers love it. It's got that 6,000 mile, the Global 6500, 6,600 mile range, while the Global Express has 5,900 nautical miles. A Global 6000 kind of similar. It's around about 6,000 nautical mile range. So you're going to get from London to LA direct. You're going to get across the Atlantic no problem, coast to coast, west to east United States, from Europe to Dubai, direct. So that's the kind of range we're looking at. The cabin's very spacious. That's what a lot of people like. What you'll find in the Global 6500, you'll find the pressure in the cabin lower than on the Global Express, and that does play into effect when you're doing long distance flights. That if the cabin pressure is lower, you're going to get off the flight a lot more rested than if the cabin pressure is higher, just simply because there's more oxygen in the cabin. So that's something to consider. I know a lot of people don't talk about that, but it is very, very important. And also the environmental system and the way the cabin pressurization and air systems have been designed in the 6500. You get this purification systems in the aircraft to purify the air. But you can also do that on the older aircraft. You can put essential oil diffusers in the cabin which help to clean the air. So there's all sorts of stuff you can do with an older aircraft, as long as you've got good management and good pre-buy team to help you to acquire the older Global Express. I certainly think it's a good buy. So that's really the comparison between the Global Express, Global 6000 and Global 6500. A few differences in speed, cabin, fuel burn, and of course that's really it. They do pretty much look like the same aircraft. The 6500, they've done more of a change there on the wing design, tweaking a few things, allowing the aircraft to perform a lot better in turbulent air. But the Global Express overall does perform better than a lot of its competitors in over the Atlantic. I mean, I've had clients that have chartered Global Express and for example the 7X going back and forth between the East Coast United States and London, and they said that the ride was a lot smoother in the Global Express. So these are important factors to consider, and of course the Global Express has a much larger cabin. So that's really it for me on this comparison. And if you want to get specific, I encourage you to ping me an email, and we'll schedule for a call, and we'll get specific and finding out what your business is all about, what your needs are, and see if we can customize an aircraft solution for you so that you can start flying private. If you haven't subscribed to BizJet TV, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel, and also gives us a thumbs up. This helps to spread the word. So click that, smash that like button for us, which always helps. And please, we'd like to hear from you. Comments, suggestions, recommendations for future videos, and a shout out to one of our people here, Stradivarus, a hard answer, because he actually suggested this video, and so that's why we're here on this video. So please subscribe, like, comment, and that's all from Fabrizio Poli on BizJet TV, and I'll see you on the next one.